welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to read the continuation of the book 3 of the Odyssey of Homer, first translation by Alan Mandelbaum. So let's begin. The grey-eyed goddess replied to him, Telemachus, what speech dares to escape the barrier of your teeth? O God, if he is pleased to bring a man home safely, even from a distant land, can do that easily. Where that man, I'd rather face the harshest trials along my way before the day of my return, than to have easy passage back, but find death right at my hearthside, like Agamemnon, trapped by Aegisthus and by his own wife. And yet, we must admit, the gods have limits. Not even they can free a man most dear from death's hard clasp. The doom that all men share. Telemachus' reply was wise, discreet. Mentor, despise our grief. Let us not speak of these things any longer. For my father, there will be no return. The deathless gods already have decided on his lot, death and dark desolation. Now, instead, I would ask Nestor something else, for he surpasses all men in sagacity. O Nestor and Leia's son, tell me the truth. How was the ruler of such spacious lands, the son of Atreus, Agamemnon, killed? Where then was Menelaus, and what plan allowed Aegisthus, whilst to strike a man more mighty than himself, when Menelaus, elsewhere far off from his Achaean Argus? And did his absence, even as he wandered, permit Aegisthus to transgress the murder? The horseman Nestor then replied, My son, I'll tell you everything. This on your own you've seen. You know just how things would have been if, on return from Troy, blonde Menelaus had found Aegisthus living in that palace. Even in death, they'd never have heaped up a burial mound. They would have let the dogs and birds tear him apart. Aegisthus cast along the plain outside the city. None of the Achaean women would have mourned for one who had contrived so much corruption. We were at Troy, at work, at war, while he at ease in Argus, land where horses pasture, connived with his beguiling words to capture the wife of Agamemnon. And at first, bright Clytemnestra scorned indecency. Her sentiments were just. Moreover, she was in the company of an attendant, a poet whom the son of Atreus, when he set out for Troy, had strictly charged to serve Clytemnestra, watchful guard. But when the gods' design had so enmeshed her that she was ready to submit, Aegisthus strict to her guardian. He led that poet to a barren isle, and there led him to rot, a prey and prize for birds. His will was now at one with hers. Aegisthus took Clytemnestra into his own house, then on the holy altars of the gods. He roasted many thighs, and he hung high both woven cloths and gold. Beyond all hopes, his heart had harbored, he had gained his goal. On my return from Troy, I sailed together with Menelaus. We were friends, but when we neared the Cape of Athens, Senium, the sacred headland, with his gentle shafts, Phoebus Apollo struck and killed the helmsman of Menelaus, while his hand held fast the steering rudder. He, son of Onitor, was Frontis, whom no man has yet surpassed in piloting a ship when storm winds blast. So Menelaus, although he was keen to journey on, stopped then at Sanium to bury and to honor his companion. But then, while voyaging the wine-dark sea, his hollow ships in rapid course he reached now, in his turn, a steep cape Malia's peak. There the commanding voice of Zeus decreed a wretched path for him. He poured a surreal blast and swollen compass, mountainous and fast. Lord Zeus split Menelaus' fleet into half of the ships were thrust to Crete, and there where the Sidonians have their home, along the Iordanus, a smooth cliff plunges sheer down to the fog-bound sea. Beside that bounds reef Cortin, and against that headland west of Phaestus, the Libysh drives a mass of breakers, but the sharp rock holds them back. Just at the point 5 ships struck, though the men were able barely to escape life's end. All of those boats were battered on the reefs. Meanwhile, 5 other ships in the same fleet, dark browed, were thrust by wind and wave to Egypt. There, as he wandered, harbor after harbor, among strange peoples, Menelaus gathered abundant gold and many other treasures. Meanwhile, at home, the web Aegisthus wolf had won the woman after that he had killed the son of Atreus and forced his will upon the people. 7 years he ruled Mycenae rich with gold, but in the 8th he was undone from Athens' bride Orestes. Returned, he killed his father's murderer. The dawn Orestes offered to the Argives a funeral feast for both his hated mother and cowardly Aegisthus. That same day, the lord of the great war cry Menelaus returned to Argos, bearing his rich trove, all of the gods, and gold his ships could stow. So do not wander long far from your house, my friend, if you have left behind your wealth with men so arrogant within your gates. Should they divide and then devour your goods, your journey would have been of little use. Yet you must go to see Lord Menelaus. His safe return is recent. He's come back from lands that lie beyond the sea so fast that any man had driven off his course by storm winds reached those coasts would have small hope of sailing home again. Even the birds can cross such waters only once a year, that unremitting stretch of sea and fear. So go now with your comrades in your ship. Or if you want to go by land, there are horses and chariot at hand. My sons will guide you into sunlit Lacedaemon, blond Menelaus' home. There, face to face, you can implore, insist, and he will state the truth. He is too wise to tell you lies. His words were done. The sand sank. Darkness won among the guests. The gray-eyed goddess said, "Old man, your words have urged the wisest course, but now cut out bulls, tongues, and mixed wine. Once we complete the offerings we owe Poseidon and the other deathless gods, we can give a thought to sleep, for it's time the light has left beneath the dark it hides. It is not right to linger overlong where gods are feasting." We had best begun. These were Athena's words. They heeded her. Each guest, refreshed by his hands, were water poured by pages, and young servants brimmed the bowls with wine and poured the potion of the gods, the first drops, into every feaster's cup. Both tongues were cast upon the flames. Then each guest stood and doused them, sizzling with a share of wine. At that dawn, each feaster drank his fill, and now Athena and Telemachus were ready to return to their quick ship, but Nestor held them back. He would insist. And that ends the second part of the book 3 of the Odyssey of Homer. I hope you all enjoyed listening, and we'll see you again soon.